major cities in Vietnam celebrate New Year. Later on, strong growth and digital economy surge predicted for Vietnam in 2025. And let's see how the New Year 2025 are being celebrated around the world.
Broadcasting from Hanoi, the capital of Vietnam. VTV News starts right now.
Good afternoon. It is currently 3 p.m. local time and you're tuning in to 30 minutes of VTV News. I'm Lilin Lei with the latest updates. Now, Vietnamese in major cities have attended music festivals and fireworks shows and participated in the joyful atmosphere to welcome the new year. The transition between the old and new year has brought many emotions. Let's take a look.
Hoan Kiem Lake is one of the 5 fireworks display locations in Hanoi to welcome the year 2025. This is also the first time in many years that the city has had fireworks displays on the first day of the new year. Many eagerly welcomed the new year in a vibrant atmosphere of music and light shows.
For the first time, Van Phuc urban area in Ho Chi Minh City organized a fireworks display to welcome the new year. Nearly 100,000 tourists flocked here to admire the spectacular fireworks, especially the 90 low-altitude fireworks display. There were also many activities to welcome the new year, which is expected to last until Wednesday.
Along with the whole country, the people of Hue welcomed the new year. They witnessed a meaningful transition as Thua Tien Hue province became Hue City under a centrally run government. This is a historic moment in Hue, the moment when the National Assembly's resolution comes into effect.
Ho River Park, Can Tho City, attracted many locals and tourists to participate in a special New Year's Eve art event. The event featured 14 elaborate art performances involving 150 Can Tho City and Ho Chi Minh City artists. The performances not only depict the image of a progressive, modern Can Tho, but also praise the party's leadership, the youth's dedication, and the city's dynamic new life.
Despite the cold weather, the Han River and beaches in Da Nang remained the focal point, attracting locals and tourists wishing to witness the beginning of a new year. In addition to the countdown show at East Sea Park, many art performances at the beaches and roads along the Han River also attracted tens of thousands of participants. With many exciting and widespread activities during the new year, Da Nang aims to become an attractive destination to attract 12 million visitors this year.
Tourists flocked to the stunning coastal region of Muy Điện in Phú Yên province to witness the first sunrise of the year and take part in a grand flag-raising ceremony. The event marked the start of the year with excitement and positive energy. This year, Phú Yên is celebrating its 8th annual flag-raising ceremony at this iconic location, offering visitors a chance to experience not only the breathtaking view of Bãi Môn Muy Điện, but also to enjoy local culture and traditions. As part of the festivities, the first visitors to Phú Yên for 2025 are welcomed with open arms, and the province plans to boost tourism with many more activities throughout the year. The goal is to hit 4.5 million tourists in 2025. The new year has arrived with joy and hope. Ho Chi Minh City welcomed 11 citizens born at Từ Dũ Hospital and Hùng Vương Hospital. The first baby girl cried out at birth as the clock struck midnight on January the 1st. 9 babies were born one after another at Từ Dũ Hospital, bringing happiness and expectations to families. Among them were 2 cesarean sections, all of which were safe deliveries for both mother and child. The workflow at Từ Dũ Hospital was still bustling even on the last day of the old year. 40 doctors and nurses on duty, along with the hospital management, welcomed the newborn babies. For New Year, ambassadors from many countries extend their warmest wishes to Vietnam. These messages are not only greetings for a peaceful, happy, and prosperous year ahead, but also a reflection of the deep friendship and strong cooperation between Vietnam and its international partners. Let's listen to these meaningful wishes from diplomats who have closely supported and witnessed Vietnam's remarkable development journey.
I think we've also seen in the change of political leadership here in Vietnam this year a new and strong commitment to developing for that new era growth, reform of political institutions and government so that it delivers effectively for citizens and for the country. And I think that's something where we've seen some initial directions in 2024. This is a direction that the General Secretary Do Lam has set out for the future. And I think it's a very positive direction.
During my time here as ambassador, clearly the biggest was the upgrade of our relations to the comprehensive strategic partnership level in March. I'm very confident that the new era which is unfolding will be very good for Australia-Vietnam relations, very good for Vietnam and very good for the whole region actually.
What we'll see in the year ahead is Vietnam continuing to grow and prosper internally, and also taking its place on the international stage in a successful way.
I hope that Vietnam and France will continue to deepen their bilateral relations, contributing to Vietnam's development in the new era.
To all my friends in Vietnam, of which there are so many now, I would like to send you my heartfelt best wishes for the new year, for a peaceful, prosperous and happy 2025.
Happy New Year. I wish you all much health, happiness and success in the new era of growth. The UK and Vietnam are going to continue to build for the future together.
To all our Vietnamese friends, from your Irish friends, Happy New Year.
Vietnam's economy is poised for a breakout year in 2025, according to international analysts who are spotlighting the country as one of the brightest spots in Southeast Asia. A new report from the Institute of Southeast Asian Studies in Singapore highlights robust export growth, rising foreign direct investment, and sweeping domestic reforms as key drivers of economic momentum. Vietnam's digital economy is also on a rapid upward trajectory, with e-commerce booming and digital payments leading the charge, according to ASEANbriefing.com. Experts believe that Vietnam's growing influence in social commerce and cross-border trade will cement its role as a powerhouse in Southeast Asia's digital landscape. Also, according to a report by Google, Temasek and Bain & Company, Vietnam's digital economy is valued at a whopping $36 billion in 2024, a $5 billion increase from last year, and is projected to reach between $90 billion and $200 billion by 2030. But it's not all smooth sailing. Analysts caution that Vietnam must tackle global economic volatility, domestic energy shortages, and relatively low consumer spending to maintain its upward trajectory. On the first morning of the new year, the Dutch cruise ship Noordam docked at Tiên Sa port in Da Nang, beginning the city's 2025 hosting of international cruise ships and passengers. The Noordam was the first international cruise ship to arrive at Tiên Sa port during the New Year holiday, bringing 2,000 passengers and 700 crew members ashore. During their two-day stay in Da Nang, the tourists will see attractions such as the Marble Mountains, Linh Ưng Pagoda, the Cham Sculpture Museum, take cyclo-tours, enjoy local cuisine, and participate in New Year's events. Last year, the number of international cruise tourists to Da Nang increased significantly, with 45 ships carrying 41,000 passengers, a 122% rise compared to 2023. Hoi An, a UNESCO World Heritage listed heritage site, has kicked off 2025 by welcoming its first group of visitors to the Old Town. A contingent of 20 tourists from Italy were the first to step foot in the town this year and were welcomed with a warm and festive reception from the people of Hoi An. During their visit, the Italian tourists had the opportunity to meet with local leaders and experience the town's rich cultural heritage, including folk tourism products and traditional craft performances, as well as taking a tour of the ancient town. This event showcases the city's welcoming spirit. It is an important tourism promotional activity, helping to stimulate the local tourism industry and attract more visitors in 2025. In 2024, Hoi An enticed over 4.4 million visitors, a 7% increase compared to the previous year, with 3.5 million international tourists, a nearly 12% rise. Coming up next on VTV News. Aquaculture farmers determined to overcome typhoon consequences. And Vietnamese flavors bloom in the Gulf region. Welcome back to VTV News Live. Now, on to other important updates. Vietnam Coast Guard has announced plans to expand its international exchange program, Vietnam Coast Guard and Friends. The program will invite more foreign Coast Guard representatives from neighboring countries with adjacent maritime areas. The program's second edition, which was recently held, contributed significantly to the success of activities commemorating the 80th anniversary of the establishment of the Vietnam People's Army and the 35th anniversary of the All-People National Defense Day. The event occurs every 2 years and fosters cooperation and friendship among regional and international maritime forces. The Ministry of Finance announced that for the first time, the country's budget revenue had surpassed 78 billion US dollars, exceeding the target by 12.7 billion Vietnam dong, an increase of 19% compared to the plan, marking the highest revenue ever recorded. Central government revenue is estimated to exceed the target by 24%, while local government revenue surpasses the target by 14%. For 2025, the state budget revenue target approved by the National Assembly is 77 billion US dollars. Of this, domestic revenue accounts for 84.8%, crude oil revenue for 2.7%, and balanced revenue from import-export activities for 11.9%. The national economy has seen a strong recovery, and balances are in check, as reported at the ministry's December 31st conference to review the 2024 financial and state budget performance and assign tasks for 2025. Typhoon Yagi's impact has had devastating consequences for residents and businesses in the aquaculture industry. Quảng Ninh province alone has lost over 43,000 tons of aquatic products, amounting to 235 million US dollars. However, locals have resumed production over the past 3 months and recovered from their losses. The following story was recorded in Vân Đồn, one of Quảng Ninh province aquaculture centers.
In Vân Đồn district, oyster farming floats cover the sea surface, erasing the traces of Typhoon Yagi. With decades of experience in oyster farming, Sơn is determined to start over despite challenges in finding capital.
To resume production, we need around 39,000 to 78,000 US dollars. If I can't get a loan from the government, I'll have to rely on relatives and friends.
Meanwhile, in Bai Tử Long fishing village, new houses have been constructed in tandem with repairs to fish farming racks. Thanks to its sheltered locations, 9 members of the cooperative only suffered about 40% losses from the typhoon.
These fish, weighing 3.5 to 4 kilograms, will be ready for sale during the Tet holiday, while the others will reach sufficient size after the tourism season. After the storm, everyone came together to plan the best strategies for coping with nature's challenges.
Alongside policies to support disaster recovery, Quảng Ninh province has granted and temporarily allocated over 10,000 hectares of sea area to aid production. Exploitation, aquaculture, and resource conservation will serve as the 3 pillars of sustainable development.
We aim for over 5% growth in the fisheries sector by 2025. This will be based on fishing village cooperatives, where collaboration helps share challenges, mobilize resources, and integrate marine farming with other economic sectors, such as tourism.
Recently, we formed an association with 21 members, creating a supply chain that we are committed to bringing to a 5-star standard. Our oyster seaweed products, developed in partnership with 21 cooperatives across 1,000 hectares of water.
Starting January the 1st, numerous new regulations will come into force, affecting various aspects of daily life in Vietnam. First, commercial vehicles transporting preschoolers and school children must now be painted in bright yellow. According to Article 46, Clause 2 of the Law on Road Traffic Safety, these vehicles must also display identifying signs on the front and sides above the windows. Second, the starting price for auctioning vehicle license plates is set at $1,569 for cars and $196 for motorbikes. The minimum price for auctions for selected plates is $19,619 for cars and $1,961 for motorbikes. Changes will also be made to the organizational structure of the People's Committee in wards within Hanoi, as each ward will have a chair, vice chair, and various other officials, including the Military Command, Office Statistics, Land Management, Construction, Urban Development, Environment, Finance, Accounting, Legal, Civil Affairs, and Culture, Social Affairs. Similar updates are also coming to Da Nang, where district and ward level leadership will see new guidelines on their responsibilities. In 2024, Typhoon Yagi inflicted significant human and economic losses across many regions, erasing key criteria for new rural development in highland areas. Despite these setbacks, efforts to improve living standards and modernize rural Vietnam continue with resilience and determination. By the end of last year, nearly 79% of communes nationwide achieved new rural standards, with over 530 recognized as new rural communes. On the first days of 2025, let's visit a newly certified model rural commune in Yên Khánh District, Ninh Bình Province.
Known for its vibrant folk traditions, Khánh Cường Commune resonates with Chèo and some singing melodies. Meritorious artist Phạm Ngọc Giới founded the local Some Singing Club, now over 20 strong. The transformation of the countryside continues to inspire songs celebrating the homeland.
Through the soulful melodies of Zam and Cheo, villagers are encouraged to unite and contribute passionately to building vibrant new rural areas.
Every project here involves the community's active participation, discussion, and contribution. Locals, including those who have moved away, have donated money, labor, and resources to upgrade roads, renovate cultural houses, and improve public facilities, fostering a meaningful community-driven development.
Today's achievements are a testament to the local people's hard work and dedication.
The contributions of residents stand as clear evidence of their central role in building a vibrant community. Flower-lined roads, planted and maintained by local women's associations, enhance the area's beauty and foster greater environmental awareness.
The 3 Clean movement, Clean House, Beautiful Garden, and Model Standards, has been successfully implemented across the commune.
Beyond preserving cultural identity, Khánh Cường strongly emphasizes academic and physical education. A few commune-level schools offer facilities that allow students to engage in physical training through hobby-based sports clubs.
Basketball and volleyball clubs have flourished, offering students like us opportunities to enjoy our favorite sports. Better health leads to better learning.
As the new year approaches, Women in the Commune celebrates its recognition as a new rural area through lively folk dances. This vibrant display marks their achievements and inspires a collective spirit of prosperity and growth as the Lunar New Year approaches, bringing hope for a prosperous year for all families.
A series of catastrophic plane crashes have occurred around the world recently. As such, the Civil Aviation Authority has just requested Vietnamese airlines to strengthen flight safety. In adverse weather conditions, all flights must land on the center of the runway and be prepared to resume flight for a second go-around.
All Vietnamese airlines have achieved the highest safety management and operation certification granted by the International Air Transport Association. Domestic airports also meet the standards and operating certificates of the International Civil Aviation Organization.
The company aims to continuously enhance the skills of pilots, flight attendants, and ground staff through international standard training programs.
The airline has a safe management system, so every safety risk is reported and addressed in a timely manner.
In the face of a series of aviation accidents, the Civil Aviation Authority has also worked with Boeing and aviation agencies around the world to investigate related issues.
International airlines are still flying aircraft Model 737 to Vietnam, and we must coordinate with Boeing to inspect and monitor this type of aircraft during this peak period.
Vietnamese airlines operate over 200 aircraft, but no airline has Boeing 737 aircraft. The Civil Aviation Authority also requires airlines to ensure that flights are only allowed when the aircraft meets the required standards and operating procedures are strictly followed.
As Vietnam continues to grow, its influence is becoming more prominent on the global stage. Vietnamese values are spreading and being embraced organically. In the Gulf region, particularly in the United Arab Emirates, a vibrant New Year celebration is unfolding. Once an unfamiliar destination for many Vietnamese, the UAE now sees a rising presence of Vietnamese culture and identity.
A Vietnamese restaurant in Abu Dhabi, UAE, is bustling as chefs prepare for the year's most important meal. The restaurant transforms into a vibrant Tet celebration, offering a range of traditional dishes to the melodies of traditional music. The unique experience draws a large crowd of eager diners.
So the Vietnamese food has become the biggest thing here in UAE now, especially in Abu Dhabi here. Okay, everybody likes it. Everybody wants to try it.
This is our first New Year Vietnamese style, which are amazing. It brings us back to the days of Vietnam whenever we went there for a visit.
The Gulf was once home to only a small Vietnamese community. However, the Vietnamese presence is growing today, leaving a lasting impact and inspiring change. This expansion is opening new opportunities for Vietnamese individuals to venture abroad and assert their identity on the global stage.
In the 3 years following COVID, Vietnam has gained significant popularity among locals, with an increasing demand for Vietnamese cuisine. Both local diners and foreigners are now eager to explore what Vietnam offers.
I think it will become more open now. Most people from UAE will go there to open their kind of business, so it will be a different way.
The year's final day is always emotional for those working far from home. The absence of family and familiar surroundings is difficult to fill. Yet, hope accompanies nostalgia, making the journey home seem a little closer.
Coming up next in our world news, Europe celebrates the arrival of 2025. And Asia rings in the new year with hopeful expectations. Moving on to our world news, European countries celebrated New Year's Eve at iconic landmarks such as the Champs-Élysées in France, the River Thames in England, and Brandenburg Gate in Germany. These events stirred a range of emotions as Europeans bid farewell to the challenging year of 2024 and welcomed 2025 with renewed hope and optimism. We join the celebration in the following.
Paris, the city of light, rang in the new year with a breathtaking fireworks display. Hundreds of thousands gathered along the Champs-Élysées to celebrate, while the Arc de Triomphe transformed into a stunning canvas for a light show that paid tribute to the city's iconic landmarks.
We came to experience the spectacular displays. Last year, we could only watch them on TV, but this year, seeing the fireworks live was truly magical.
I hope the new year brings everyone peace, happiness, health, and joy.
Meanwhile, around 65,000 people braved the cold to gather at Berlin's iconic Brandenburg Gate, where they enjoyed live concerts, the countdown, and a dazzling fireworks display to ring in the new year.
I wish you good health and peace in the new year.
I wish everyone peace and prosperity in the coming year. London welcomed the new year with a dazzling fireworks display over the River Thames as Big Ben chimed at midnight. Despite severe weather warnings across much of the UK, including heavy rain and strong winds in some areas, New Year celebrations in London proceeded as planned.
Sydney's Harbour Bridge New Year's Eve fireworks display remains one of the world's most anticipated, known for its impressive scale and cutting-edge technology. The midnight display lasts 12 minutes, with fireworks launched from multiple locations around the Harbour Bridge area. This year marked a first, as fireworks were also launched from the west of the bridge and the Opera House. Additionally, the sails of the Opera House and 5 high-rise buildings in Sydney's city centre were incorporated into the spectacle. Last night, alongside Vietnam, many Asian countries ushered in the moment 2025 arrived with dazzling fireworks displays. Across the region, there was a shared hope that the new year would bring more joy and success than before.
In Beijing, China, despite temperatures dipping below freezing, crowds gathered in shopping centers, parks, and entertainment areas to usher in the new year with high hopes. In Hong Kong, China, a happiness-themed fireworks display illuminated Victoria Harbour, offering a visual feast for locals and tourists alike. In Japan, the new year was welcomed with the resonant sound of bells from temples and shrines, while Tokyo's countdown event at City Hall attracted large crowds, especially young people. A light display featuring 200,000 LED lights was a key highlight of the celebrations. Meanwhile, fireworks over the Chao Phraya River in Thailand marked the arrival of 2025, with a countdown ceremony at Bangkok's Siam Shopping Center drawing numerous revelers.
I want a peaceful and beautiful world in which everyone is happy, no matter where they are.
In Malaysia, the new year was ushered in with fireworks and a light show near the iconic Petronas Twin Towers. As 2024 drew to a close, it was a year marked by joyful and sorrowful challenges. As people bid farewell to the old year, they welcome 2025 with hopes for peace, health, prosperity, and love.
And that is all that we have this hour on VTV News. To rewatch our program, you can visit our website or YouTube channel. And up next, let's have a look at the weather forecast. And that's the end of today's bulletin. Thank you so much for watching, and we wish you the best and hope for the best for 2025 for you as well. See you again in the next year. Thank you so much for watching, and goodbye.